Good evening. Welcome to This Week in Review. Tonight's stories include: we had the winners of the Big Fish Contest, Western Construction have begun working on the town streets, our MHA, the Honorable Dave Gilbert, was in town this past week. I had an interview with Mr. Jerry Billard concerning the changes at the Canada Employment Outreach Office. Next week is Safety Week at Newfoundland Labrador Hydro. The final shooting test for this year was held on Wednesday, and a whole lot more, including a special treat for all you dads out there. That's coming up later in the program, so please stay tuned. We took our camera to the fire hall on Monday night to see how the weigh-in was going and to get the winners of this year's Big Fish Contest.
Not so big as Jeffrey's, is it? Not close. Colin.
Five?
That's what Miss Jeffrey's.
Robert. Hey! Jake Rimmel. Large half dozen, 3.31.
What do you need? Nate?
Yep.
Just one in there.
2.2.
Robert. Large one-inch. Eugene Ball. Point, 2.02. Well, first of all, we'd like to thank everybody for donating the prizes again this year. And we would like to thank everybody that signed up. And now I guess we'll check the prize.
Okay, the first one is for the largest mud trout. That one goes to Jeffrey Anderson. The trout weighed 2.60 pounds. Largest sea trout goes to Jarvis Warren. That one weighed 1.44 pounds. Largest one-ish goes to Eugene Ball. That one weighed 2.02 pounds. Largest 6 mud trout goes to Phil Grant, and they weighed 4.78 pounds. Largest 6 sea trout, Corey and Clothier, and they weighed 2.58. Largest 6 one-ish goes to Dion Domney with a weight of 7.13 pounds. Now, besides the rods and reels for the biggest fish, everybody that entered the contest had a number. We put all the numbers in a bag, and we got 11 draws to make on different items. So the first one, item number 1, is for a dozen flies. What number? 31. Number 31.
Owen Meredith.
That one is number 4.
Larry Ryan.
3.
102. Gary Jordan. Number 6.
Number 6.
Dan Bucket.
Number 37.
Bill Simmons.
Bill. Number 14.
Billy Miller.
Draw number 7 is for a floating line. Number 42.
Trent Pink.
Draw number 8.
Number 61.
That's for a worm box and a 6-pound fishing line. Number
61.
61.
Sid Bennett.
Draw number 9 is for 100 hoops and a land compass. That one is number 46.
Gavin Green.
Draw number 10 is for 2 6-pound lines and a bottle of gink. Number 72.
David Tonight.
And draw number 11 is for some assorted lures. And that is number 45.
Andy Green.
So, once again, I'd like to thank everybody for signing up. See you all next year.
This year there were 113 people registered to take part in the Big Fish contest. I guess you've all noticed the recent announcements concerning the changes at the Canada Employment Outreach Office here in Burgeville. I had an interview with Mr. Jerry Billard, Outreach Manager, to find out more about the services offered and no longer offered at the Outreach Office.
Okay, well, on our what we call Career Information Center, Dave, what we've got, of course, is course outlines on, well, the Newfoundland Career Academy fills up the top here. Of course, we've got one on the Memorial University, and then we're into Western Community College. Okay. And we've got Fisher Institute, Cabot Institute, and of course, if anyone wants to be an helicopter pilot, of course, we've got information on that. I remind anybody those think give about $45,000. There's early childhood education, the Marine Institute, Swaffer Grenville College, and we've got the Lawrence College Incorporated, and nursing schools. And over here, we've got Academy Canada, Key and Tech, Nova Scotia Agriculture College, and Compu College. And there's some stuff on the Canadian Armed Forces there. So there's quite a list of books that are available, course outlines, that sort of thing, for various for people to come and browse through. We normally don't allow people to take those home without having our permission, because of course they're kind of hard to get. Like what we need to do is, like, if a person needs to take one home for 2 or 3 days, like, we just kind of mark their name down that they've got it, and of course they bring it back after a couple of days. So this is the Newfoundland Public Service job where we've got here. Generally this all appears there, and of course the deadline date is on all the posters. We did take some of those. The nurse's position is on TV right now. Of course, referring people to come here and check the board, and of course the forester's position. There's obviously job listings on here that people are referred to and qualify, but most times, of course, there probably would be 1 or 2 that would be they would be able to qualify for. This particular board here is used for notices, and of course the job line. So, like, if an individual sees, for example, a general foreman for Piccadilly, they can come in and, of course, read the information pertaining to that. And of course, it'll basically tell you what you have to do to apply. Also, the National Job Inventory book is this fellow here. What it provides is a list of the jobs that are always available across Canada, and of course, like, it shows the job itself, the location of where it is, and the province, of course, the salary, and the experience required. And of course, like, people need to, for example, know the occupational code for the scale that they've got. Once they know that the occupation and the codes are all in numerical order, of course, so they have no problem whatsoever coming in, looking at this book, and within 15-20 seconds be back out of here if there's nothing there for that particular week. This book is updated I think it's every Friday. So, like, a person can come in really any time, as long as they establish one day in the week to come in. chances are there's going to be a change there from one week to the next. We also got some information here on job interviews, this sort of thing, and then there's also some general pamphlets that guide for the job owner, that sort of thing that they can access, of course, free to take. The other thing that we might bring attention to is a career information outline. You know, people can come in and we can talk careers with them and give them information, but also the career information outline is there, which is a toll-free number. And of course, what they can do is actually verify or get a second opinion, if you like, on what we're saying, and you know, they can get a better feel for it. So we do encourage people to call that number. That's what it's there for. Okay, Dave. The other service that we're providing people, of course, is the actual resume writing. And what we've done, of course, is we've built into or put into our computer a list of the skilled occupations that's available in Virgin. Now, we don't have them all done yet, obviously, because we've only had the system for a couple of months. But just to give you a basic idea of what we can do, several students wanted registrations or resumes done, and of course, Tracy's given me permission to tape or take out hers on the printer. So, like, we can. I'll just bring it up here. So what we've done really is that at any time, Tracy, for example, the student placement worker here, could come in and ask for a copy of her resume. And of course, if there was any changes or anything required, we could do that with very little difficulty. And of course, we could get a copy of it for her. And of course, she can take it to the employer, of course, that she's applying for a job too. So what's happening right now, Dave, is that the printer is typing her resume for her. And of course, that's into our system. Of course, it'll always be there until we eliminate it. There's a resume. And of course, we can do changes to that in no time at all. If the student was applying for a specific job, or and just to give you an idea of what we've got done so far. Right now we've got bricklayers entered into it, students, of course, carpenters, refrigeration workers, and truckers so far. Probably if I summarize what we're not doing now, Dave, just so that people understand, there are no need of further registration. So you can't register for work here, okay, anymore. You can't update files there anymore. We don't answer UI inquiries. I want to make sure that people understand in Virgil, we're not qualified to answer the UI inquiries. If people are bringing in, letters, they're asking us questions. We're basing our information on past experience. Rules with unemployment change, they change often. And, we may end up giving them the wrong information. So, we're no more knowledgeable of unemployment right now than any, person here in Virgil as such. Of course, we're not completing UI applications, but we will check it for accuracy. And we're not completing forms, but we will provide training for those who need it. That being said, what I think I need to say now is what in the heck are we actually doing here? Because like in the last couple of weeks, I think we've been saying to people, what we're not doing. The majority, of course, of our efforts will be focused on those who are interested in helping themselves and finding long-term solutions to their specific employment needs. And of course, we'll be helping our clients find their own job. That's pretty well the focus, with some other types of services involved there. The main focus of our duties right now will be career counseling, okay? And counseling with a view to employment. That being said, we'll be counseling clients who require the service for the purpose of furthering education and or training. Says if you're an individual that's out there expecting we're going to get you a job, I'm sorry, we can't help you. If you're an individual that are ready to help yourself and need guidance from us, we're all here, and we're ready to go all out for you. And that's basically, Dave, the focus of where we're going from now on.
These were only a few clips of the interview that I had with Mr. Billard. Please stay tuned after tonight's broadcast when we will show the complete interview regarding the changes at the outreach office. Western Construction have begun work to prepare the town streets for paving this summer. Traffic has been tied up temporarily in some areas due to the ongoing work in these areas.
Mr. Kendall, I've noticed that work on the repaving of the town streets is in full swing. I understand that council are asking the public to please observe the signs, flag persons, as well as try to stay clear of the areas where they're working.
Yes, Dave. We started, or I should say the contractor started work this week. And he's working in a number of areas around town, probably 2 or 3 areas at one time. And we would like to ask the general public to try and stay away from the work area as much as possible. We know that there's going to be traffic, and we like to try to work around it as much as possible, but there's going to be periods when the road is going to be closed for maybe an hour or a couple of hours. If people could stay away from those areas as much as possible, it would make it much easier for the contractor to carry out their work.
Do you have any completion date right now, Mr. Lynn?
Well, the type of work that's going on right now, I met with the contractor and the engineers yesterday afternoon, and the type of work that's going on now, whereby they're putting in storm drains, doing some ditching along the side of the road, culvert work. Hopefully this will be completed by the 15th of July, after which, of course, the asphalt will be available and the actual paving will start. So maybe we're looking at a completion date by the last week of July, 1st of August.
Will existing pavement be removed or paved over?
Some of the existing pavement, the real bad areas, will be removed, but no, I'd say about 90% will be left, and there will be a 2.5-inch spread of asphalt going on top of that. So when it's completed, you should have approximately 4 inches of asphalt that you will be driving on. We were going to remove it, but after meetings with the engineers, they feel that by recapping, putting a 2.5-inch spread on top of what was there on what is there, would give us an extra 3 to 4 years lifespan for the pavement.
Okay, when Mayor McGowan came in to tell us about the paving, he said that the main road from the High Hearing to the Government Ward, Inspiration Road, along by the post office up along by Riffs, and as far up to Messers as the funds would allow.
Exactly.
How far up to Messers will?
We don't actually know. We know that we're going to get some work done down in the Messers area. We had hoped that we could get the additional funding to extend to at least the park, where you're going to park. To put in sidewalks and to recap, put in the drainage that is necessary in that area. From Inspiration Road to the park, the total cost for that would have been $240,000. We would need that additional amount of money to do that work. However, hopefully we can get some of the patch work down there in that area. I've been talking to the department, and Virgil will be given a high priority next year with regard to receiving funding to finish off the road and do all the side roads.
Okay, Mr. Kendall, thanks for speaking.
Thank you very much, Dave.
I had intended on taking our cameras in on the road to see what work has begun on the remaining section of highway that is to be paved this summer. However, I was informed that other than drilling in the rock quarries, no work has actually begun on the roads. Our MHA, the Honourable David Gilbert, was in town this past week. He stopped by and we had a discussion about fishery and other issues pertaining to our area. Welcome to our studio once again, Mr. Gilbert.
Thank you, David.
What do you think of the decision of the 5 international judges to grant St. Pierre a 24-mile limit on the western side of the island?
Well, I suppose, David, again, it's something that they wanted to have defined. The government of Canada were looking for some sort of a definitive boundary. I heard some of the politicians, mainly Mr. Crosby, seem to be very happy about it, but I wanted to wait and until I saw really what was going to happen with it, and until I had a chance to talk to some of the fishermen who are fishing in that area. Now, I've had a chance to talk to some of the people from here in Burgeo that are out there fishing and that, and they tell me that it really is not going to affect them because the area that they fish in is about 50 miles southwest of Micklin, so they're 20 miles outside of that line that was given. I'm concerned about it from the point of view that even though it's defined, how do we police it to make sure that the French are going to stay and fish inside of that line, and especially that 10-mile corridor that stretches out for 200 miles?
Next week, June 21st to 27th, has been declared Safety Week by Newfoundland and Labrador Hydro. The grade 6 students at A.J. Matthews School came over again this year to do hydro safety messages to be aired all next week. These students were presented with hydro t-shirts for their help.
Congratulations and thank you very much. Good job. Congratulations, thank you very much. Good job. Thank you, good job. Thank you, very professional. Thank you, good job. Hello. Thank you, good job. Thank you very much, sir. Good job. Thank you. Good job. Thank you. You're a movie star. Thank you. Good job. Thank you very much. You're a movie star. Thank you very much. Good job. Thank you very much. You're a movie star. Now, good day. On behalf of Newfoundland Labrador Hydro, I'd like to say a special thank you to Burgeo Broadcasting System and to the students and the teachers of AJ Elementary School for the very professional job they did on doing those TV ads for Newfoundland Hydro. Have a safe summer. There's a little presentation on behalf of Newfoundland Hydro.
Thank you very much. We're only too pleased to help you out.
I'm glad.
Be sure and tune in to Channel 10 all next week for hydro safety messages such as this one.
Hello, my name is Eric Parsons. An efficient safety program leads the way to a secure future with less accidents, fewer injuries, better working conditions, higher productivity and morale. At Newfoundland and Labrador Hydro, safety represents a lifetime of security.
At Newfoundland and Labrador Hydro, safety is a way of life.
The Hunter's Capability Test was held for the last time this year on Friday, June 12th. However, due to rain, the final shooting test had to be postponed. The shooting test went ahead on Wednesday of this past week. This year, a total of 81 people tried the shooting test. Out of these 81 people, 60 were successful and 21 were unsuccessful. For the practical part, or shooting test, participants shoot at a life-size game target. We watched as Anne Brown made it look very easy. If the examiner raises his arm, it means that the contestant passed. His arm is up, so she passed. Report cards went home at both A.J. Matthews Elementary and St. John Central High School on Friday afternoon. Unfortunately, at the high school, students were very reluctant and did not want to talk to us. After leaving the high school, we then took our cameras to the elementary school. As you can see, the kindergarten students look very eager to get their reports back. We were a little more successful down at the elementary school, where we spoke to a couple of students. So did you pass, Ross?
Yeah.
So what grade are you going to be in next year?
Grade 3.
Grade 3. Congratulations. Name?
Match.
So Madge, did you pass?
Yes.
So what grade are you going to in September?
3.
So did you get any prizes?
Yeah.
What did you get?
Most improved.
You got most improved. Oh, that's good. Congratulations. There were some very happy students, some not so happy students, and some who wrote public exams that will have to wait a while longer yet to find out how they did. The Museum Committee has begun work on the restoration of the old chlorine building to transform the building into a tourist chalet and museum. We went into the site on Friday morning to get a closer look at the building and the work to be done. Gord, what kind of plans do the Museum Committee have for the building?
Well, Dave, we've got some very good plans. Well, first, as you can see, it's nothing but one ridiculous mess there now. We've got 3 students hired under Challenge 92 grant, and they're going to come in on Monday to start clean the building up. And like I say, on the walls, what we're going to do for now, we're going to try and hopefully a couple of carpenters will come forward, and we're looking at probably at waist level to do some shelving and probably have them covered with plexiglass. And that way we can start displaying the antiques and and a lot of the history items of Virgil. A lot of that we do have cataloged from students that worked on the Challenge 91 grant. And what Mr. Sims, Walter Sims, passed over to the town a few weeks ago. So we're hoping to be able to display that all around the building as of now. We do have a lot of plans for it. We plan on, of course, a place where the landscape, where we have room for expansion if need be. And I feel it's a very important building to Virgil, but one thing I want to emphasize is that it's not a committee museum, it's not a council museum, it's the old town's museum. And people are going to be having things placed in there that belongs to their families, and it goes back years. I'm not quite sure of the whole size one that we got, but we know for a fact that one thing is 89 years ago that it was brought to Virgil. It wasn't brought new, but it was brought to Virgil, and that family passed it over to be placed in this museum. Another old item we got is an old lamp, and that was found in the Sandbanks Pond when they drained it a few years ago. So that's been passed over to the museum. So we've got some very old items and a lot of items of some very good history and interesting stories to be told about it. And some more repairs we need is the door. The door is going to have to be replaced. Well, probably one of the first things that's going to be done is the door is going to be replaced after the building is cleaned up. We plan on putting some little counter air sort of that each and every year we can have a student that you have a guest book and welcome people into the town and passing some literature guess the museum comes from the idea of when we had come home here. And I'm not quite sure what money that the town's got for that now, but I do know for a fact that there was over $10,000 passed over to the town. That's been in a GIC, and so we've accumulated the interest on that ever since '88. But we don't want to use that money yet until we got to it. We do have a $250 grant from the government to sort of help us with the painting and things like that. But the warrant, the cost of the warrant will, I guess, have to take that out of the money. And over the winter, we can do some planning on what we're going to do with the monies that's in that GIC. So other than that, that's about all I can tell you, Dave. Other than we're going to be putting a sign outside saying Virgil Tourist Chalet and Museum, and we're also going to be having a sign in the road saying like Virgil Tourist Chalet and Museum. Well, however many kilometers is going to be from that sign in there. The place is going to be painted outside as quickly as possible. Like I said, we only got 3 students and we got a lot of work. So if anybody wants to volunteer, that we can find a day's work. We don't expect somebody to come in here 2 or 3 days, a week, a lot of time. But if we had, say, half a dozen or a dozen people volunteer, that work can get done very, very quickly. And I think in 5 years' time down the road that this building will be something that people of Virgil will feel proud of. Because as of now, it don't look too good. It's nice over to the town, and I think everybody should, or the ones that's free, can offer some of their services, should feel good about coming in, out and clean it up, and have a nice presentable building to welcome the people that's coming into our town.
Okay, Gord, we look forward to coming back and seeing we had the before picture, so we look forward to coming back and seeing the after picture.
You know, that's the idea of it, I think, because, like, by having a museum, you just don't, I say, this is it, here's the finished product. You got to do a little story about, like, say, for 10, 15, 20 years down the road, how did you just, prepare the building, okay? So now we got it before. Hopefully, probably when somebody comes in doing some work, we'll get them filmed doing the work, and all this will be kept on video for years down the road. And even when tourists comes in, like say in a couple of years' time, because I don't think we'll have that part of it ready this year. That, like when Mr. Sims did the tape on the antiques, we can sort of have that on a TV, like playing all the time, and then you can have different videos that's been done on preparing this building and things like that. So yes, Dave, look forward to you coming back, even in probably about a week's time, because I think the students will go all out, and I really expect a few people to come forward and offer their services. And thanks, Dave, for coming in and taking your time.
Okay,
The building a bit. What we're going to be doing in front, we're going to be, like I said earlier, about the sign, but we're going to be having 2 flag staffs go up with the Newfoundland flag and the town flag that's going to be sticking up and down. Those willows or whatever that's there is going to be gone. That's going to be landscape, and in here we got a couple of beautiful birch in there. They're going to stay, and we plan on to get that leveled off, and like say a couple of picnic tables put there for the tourists. Like say if they just want to stop on the way in or stop on the way out or whatever. We do have a couple of picnic tables, and down the road we've even talked about as much as like say having a seesaw or something like that for the kids, and that just sort of pass away a half hour while the parents or whatever are inside, and get some information on our town and things like that. And as you can see, we got plenty of room for expansion if need be. The building is a flat roof right now. We do have a minor leak in the roof, but hopefully that'll get taken care of. But maybe we'll put another story on. I don't know. We've talked about so many things that I do hope that it all comes to, comes in place. But we can't put it all into it one year because we have to see what happens.
Community events. The RBP will be having a TV bingo on Wednesday. Bingo cards are $1 each or 6 for $5 and are available in most stores around town or from any RBP member. We have a number of bingo openings throughout the summer, so if there's any group or organization that would like to book a bingo through the summer, you can give us a call at our office. Public notice. It has become very evident in recent weeks that some residents of Burgeo do not understand what involvement Canada Employment Outreach would have with regards to hiring at the new health care unit. We want to make it clear that our office does not and will not get involved in any way with the hiring practices at the health care unit. We cannot control who gets hired, whether the workers are from town or out of town. An employer can hire whoever he or she pleases. Unfortunately, it has nothing to do with us. The only service we can provide to an employer at that site is the referral of resumes and a room to do interviews, and this can only be provided if the employer decides to use this service. If you have complaints about the way the hiring is done at the site, we suggest you make these complaints known to the person doing the hiring. In the future, when you feel you have a complaint about this office, we suggest you first contact us to find out what involvement we may have with the matter. We would only be too happy to talk with you about our responsibilities. Signed, Jerry Billard, Outreach Manager. Be sure and tune in to This Week in Review next week when we will have highlights from the summer fair. Tracy Swift, student placement worker, will be in for an update. And we will be taking our camera to the hospital site to see what changes have happened in the past 2 weeks, as well as any other news items that may occur during the week. So be sure and tune in. Well, that's it for tonight's program. But before we go, we promised a special treat for all you fathers. Happy Father's Day.
I remember Daddy's hands folded silently in prayer and reaching out to hold me when I had a nightmare. You could read quite a story in the calluses and lines. Years of work and worry had left their mark behind. I remember Daddy's hand
Remember to please stay tuned now for the complete interview with Mr. Billard and with our MHA, the Honorable David Gilbert. On behalf of BBS and the BBS volunteers, I'm Dave Cooper wishing you a great week. Good night.